Creative Writing Advice with me, JJ Barnes. If you don't know me and you're new to this channel, I'm JJ and I am the author of How to Write a Story as well as other things. This book is kind of what I'm doing over here on YouTube. I take you from the beginning of your story through your midpoint to the end and cover everything in between. What I want to do is help you get your story out into the world. And that is what I'm doing with these YouTube videos as well. Usually what I do is I break down a piece of writing advice or a tip or talk about something to do with writing that is meant to help you feel confident and able to tackle a story that you've always dreamed of writing. I break it down, I reference pop culture, so books, film, TV, nothing too heavy. I try and make it as accessible and fun and entertaining as possible so that you can just relax and enjoy your writing, because writing's amazing and I love it and I want to help you love it too. However, and I say this every single Monday, my Monday videos are a little bit different. In the week, I get people to send me questions about anything. It can be about writing or stories, but generally it can be about, I get all sorts, to be honest, and I always say this. Sometimes the things I get are really interesting and they challenge me and they make me think. Other times the questions I get are really strange. And I'm like, look, if you want to know, I don't mind telling you, but it's a strange thing to ask. I've always said that I'm going to try and answer everything you send me as honestly and with as much truth as I can. Sometimes I refuse to answer your questions, but that is my truth. So basically, I get all the questions and I put them all into this bag. I never get through everything I get sent, but what I do is I mix them all up. So if you've sent me a question this week and I don't do it today, it doesn't mean I'm not going to do it. It just means it's mixed in because I get so many that I can't do them all in one video. So I mix them up so it comes out at random, so it should be interesting to see what comes out and we can have some fun. I won't do too many. I always say I worry that I go on for so long that you're going to be like, shut up. So I just do a few and then yeah, we'll save the rest for next time. So I will crack straight on and stop waffling. So okay. Oh, this is a really good one to start with. If one of you was going to write the novelization of Holohut, would it be you or Jonathan? So this is a writing question and it's to do with my writing, so I'll have to fill you in a little bit if you are new. So Holohut is the film that I made with my partner Jonathan. It's our first fully independent production. So previously when we've written, it's been for other people and we've been on set and stuff, but it has been filmed and cast and we've just been the writers, which, don't get me wrong, is a massive privilege and just fabulous. But Holohut is our first just us, so we did all of it. I was the camera person and I'm doing the editing, and John was the audio person and he's doing the score. We cast it and we both acted in it. It was very much a hands-on, us making a movie for the first time, just us, like training wheels off. And you can find, I'll put the link to it because it's coming out great. It's been held up, obviously the pandemic stuff has delayed it because we just couldn't get everything done. It was supposed to come out this Halloween, so it's now scheduled for next Halloween because we just couldn't do it with everything going on. But it's well underway. We've got an amazing soundtrack, some fabulous singers. Yeah, so I will now answer this question. Now you know what I'm talking about. So the novelization is actually something we've talked about doing because it's a great little story. It's a Halloween story and it's about a weekend away where, you know, mysterious things happen. And it would actually make a really good novel, I think. A really entertaining story. So if we do the novelization of it, both of us know the story identically well, as like we've watched it, all the footage so much, and we wrote it together. So it wouldn't be a question of who knows the story better. That would be taken out of it. It would probably come down to who's busiest at the time that the novelization came up, because we're both working all the time, but sometimes one of us has less pressure on them. Like recently, I've had a lot more pressure on me and my work than John has, because I've got a colouring book coming out, and I've had to try and get all the work done for that, so that it could be out on deadline. So I've been working just literally day and night to get that done. So if the novelization was to come up now, then it would be him. But then, you know, other times he has more pressure than me. So if the novelization came up, it would be me. So I'm waffling terribly. I get very excited when questions about my work come up. But yeah, I think it would come down to who was the most available to write it. So you'll see, because I'm sure the novelization will happen, because it's likely to. So it could be both of us, and we could split it, but one of our names will be on the cover at least. So you'll find out, I guess. Okay. How many pets do you have? You know what? I'm really excited by this question, because recently our cat, Robin, went missing. He's actually here. I'll show you. Come here, baby. So this is Robin, and he went missing. He was missing for 3 days, and my cats don't go out. They're fully indoor house cats. Like, we live on a road, and we made the decision to keep them in. And honestly, the social media support for our missing 6-month-old cat was just incredible. Like, thousands of people on Facebook and Twitter were just sharing his picture. There was like "Find Robin" hashtags, and it was just phenomenal, and I'll never be able to thank people enough. And he came home. But the reason I'm excited for this question is because I fear that if the question had come up when he hadn't come home, then the answer would have been a very sad one. But the answer is 3. I have 2 cats, Batman and Robin, and a dog, a spaniel dog called Molly Dog. So I have 3 pets and 3 children. Right. They're the same thing in my head, I guess. All right, let's have a look. Do you prefer to sleep with sound or silence? You know what? I can pretty much fall asleep anywhere, anytime. During films, I fall asleep real easy at the minute. As I say, I've been working just so like ridiculous. Like my alarm goes off at 5 every day, and I start working as soon as I can, like, I make my coffee and then get on with it, and just work solidly. And I'm getting, like, my kids aren't sleeping very well because of the anxiety of the pandemic-y stuff in school. So I'm not getting a hell of a lot of sleep at the minute, which means when an opportunity to sleep comes up, I kind of just pass out hard. But by choice, I would sleep with silence. So, let's see. How did you make sure your children's book didn't break the laws of the universe? Oh my gosh, another writing question. This doesn't happen very often. This is exciting. So my children's book, I get to talk about my writing, which is, I hope this doesn't bore you. It shouldn't bore you because they're really good stories. The children's book that I wrote with my daughter is called Nature Girl vs. Worst Nightmare. And it's set in SSU, the Siren Stories universe, which is where all of these books and stories are set. And it's about children who are like training to be superheroes, essentially. They've got magical powers. They've all got one power. So Nature Girl, she's like Poison Ivy in the sense she can make plants move, and there's Bird Boy who can fly, you know, things like that. And that's very consistent with the laws of our universe, and that is it's because my daughter, she created the character Nature Girl to play as on the playground when they were playing superheroes. Like, she wanted to be Nature Girl, so that is how that came about. And then I wrote the story because, you know, she was 6 at the time. Whereas all her ideas, and so what we did was we talked about it, and I said to her, like, you are going to be the one. I'm not doing the work here for you. You're going to come up with everything. They're your characters, so you have to tell me who they are. They're your events, your plot. You just have to tell me what you want writing, and I will write it, but you have to do the work of the ideas because I've got my own work to do, kind of thing. But she asked about what she can do for art, because she knows about Mummy's books and writing. So I told her, if you want it to be set in the SSU, these are how this is how the law works, and this is what we've got to work around. And if you don't want it to be in the SSU, that's absolutely fine. It can just be something different, and we'll just, we'll sort it out for a different, umbrella. But she wanted it to be in the SSU, so anything she came up with, we talked about it, she told me what she wanted to happen, and we worked it out. So basically, the children's book I was able to make sure it fit into the universe because my daughter wanted it to, and it's her book, it's her story, so she was happy for that, and she understood the idea of making it fit, so it worked really well, just talking to her. Alright, let's have a little look. Oh, come on. There we go. What is your favourite film? I get really stressed when people ask me this sort of question. Not because I'm like one of the people, like sometimes you ask people like, oh, I don't know, I don't watch films. Not my problem. My problem is the opposite. There are so many films that I love. My instinct would go Jurassic Park. Instinctively I will go with Jurassic Park because I just adore that film. I just think it's phenomenal in so many ways, like storycraft and characterization and entertainment. And when I watched it, because of course I was a child when it came out, and it just blew my mind. Yeah, I keep thinking about other films that I love that I truly do genuinely absolutely adore, like True Lies and Moana and Die Hard and Speed. Oh my god, I love Speed. And Demolition Man is one of my absolute favourite films. Practical Magic, I just adore it. Like there is so many films that I love, but my gut went Jurassic Park, so I am going to say Jurassic Park is my favourite film. But it can depend on my mood, because if I want to be scared, then I'm not going to watch Jurassic Park, and if I want romance and soppiness, then I'm not. But for the most part, Jurassic Park gives me everything I need. This is a fun one. Do you prefer King Kong, Godzilla, or Mothra? I prefer King Kong. Don't get me wrong, like, all monsters are fabulous. I love a monster. I love a monster movie. But King Kong, because, well, for one thing, King Kong Skull Island is, like, one of the best films ever. I know that's, like, a lot of people don't agree with that, but that's fine. I absolutely adore it. I love the cinematography on it. Honestly, the cinematography in Kong Skull Island is just mind-blowing. It's a beautiful film. Like, it's the sequences, it's just, I aspire. As I say, like, I was the camera person and I'm all the editing. Like, I'm very visual. I do a lot of art and photography and camera work, and Kong Skull Island is just so inspiring because it's stunning. Also, I like the fact that he's a monster with like a heart. I enjoy that. Right, how many have I done? A few. We'll see. Post a picture of your favourite sci-fi character. Okay, I will. I have to pick one though. My gut goes Starbuck. I love her. She's fabulous. Picard is fabulous. I adore Picard. Oh, I'm gonna go Starbuck. She reminds me of my daughter. Okay. Okay. Other than writing, what are your favourite subjects to talk about? I could talk about writing so much. This is funny. I do talk about writing so much. If you watch these videos, you know I talk about writing a lot. Okay, other than writing, to be honest, the thing I probably talk about other than writing the most is my children. Even with Jonathan, and bearing in mind, like, we are all the time either working on our writing or writing adjacent, shall I say, like, when I'm editing the film, it's not me writing a film, but it's a writing adjacent thing. So if I'm not talking about my work and writing in general, then I'm probably talking about my children, because they are fascinating creatures who get up to all kinds of mischief, and they take up a lot of space in my old brain hole. So I'm gonna go children. Right. I'll only do a couple more, otherwise you're going to start yelling at me. Okay. Okay. guys, jeez. Okay, what was the toughest decision in your life? That is a question. Toughest decision in my life. Well, making the decision to end an abusive relationship was tough, not because I wanted to be in the abusive relationship, because ending it was not safe. It was frightening to finally make that step. That was a really tough decision, because it's not an easy thing to put yourself through and to do and to risk. So that was a really tough decision. When my husband left and I had to make a decision about how I was gonna rejig my entire life, and moving out of our home that I'd lived in for so many years and starting fresh with my little girl and finding somewhere to live that was just for us, and sort of restyling my whole existence was tough, because that involved so many thoughts and so many things I had to figure out that I'd never had to really think about before. And I'm so grateful that I made the choices I did, because it led to a life that I'm very grateful to have. So those are probably the toughest decisions, probably. Oof, sometimes you guys ask me questions that really make my thoughts, like, you can probably hear the cogs turning. What is your favourite drink? Basically, right, this is funny. Of a standard day, and like, there's variety, I drink 3 things. At all times, every day, there are only 3 things I actually drink. Other than occasionally, as I say, if we're out, I'll have a Diet Coke or something. But if a standard day, I will drink one of 3 things. I will drink coffee, water, or wine. That's it. I've got a coffee now that I've got right next to me. So I drink loads of water. I drink loads and loads and loads of water. Just plain water. I don't like squashing it or anything. And I do like wine. I like my wine in the evening. But my favourite, I'm going to say water, because I drink more water than I drink anything else. Which is probably, sounds ever so boring when I'm like, I love to drink just water, but I do, and I think it's good for me as well. So that is my favourite. I'm doing one more, because otherwise, yeah, long. Okay. If you woke up as Darth Vader at any point in the story, what would you do? Oh my god! At any point? I mean, this changes, like, are we talking like young? Or when he's fully established Vader? Thing is, right, I'm a massive wimp. Like, I would not be suited to the life of an intergalactic dictator. I just wouldn't. I would be like, people would shout and I would just like cry and hide, because I'm not good with sudden loud noises. Like you know what I mean? A space battle is like my idea of hell. Like I can't cope with violence. I can't cope with like aggression and some bangs. I get very like it throws me off so much. So if I woke up as Darth Vader, he would suddenly become the weakest super villain you could ever imagine, because I would just be like, no, don't like this. I'm not doing it. I'm not fighting anymore. I am now a pacifist Vader. So if I woke up as Darth Vader at any point in the story, I'd probably just ruin the story. But I would. So thank you very much again for another session of Ask Me Anything. If you want to send me questions to go in my bag, questions for me to do next time. You can send it to me on here. You can comment with, I get quite a lot of comments in questions in the comments. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and you can send me questions over there. And I've got an Ask FM account, just search for JJ Barnes, and that's completely anonymous, and that's usually where the strange ones come. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. So yeah, comment if you want to ask me anything, it's fine. If you go to my website, which is jjbarnes.co.uk, you'll find links to, well, everything that I've just talked about actually. So there's links there to Holohut, the film that I've got in post-production, Nature Girl vs. Worst Nightmare, which is the children's book that I talked about. There's also links to my photography and my art that I've talked about. This has been a very me-centered video. I mean, they're all me-centered videos because they're all questions about me. So that makes no sense, but I know what I mean. I've talked about my own work a lot. Which is cool. So yeah, you can find all those there, and if you subscribe to this channel, I release a video every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. Wednesday and Friday videos are all very focused on writing and storycraft, and Monday so far is Ask Me Anything, but that will just depend on whether if people stop enjoying this series, then I'll just stop doing it, it's no problem. But you can just let me know. So thank you very much for joining me again, and I will be back again soon. Thank you very much. Bye.